Hello and welcome to the Titanic Cup Series Season 12 finale here at Homestead. With the playoffs that started with 16 drivers, we are now down to just 4. And 4 drivers will contend for a championship here tonight at Homestead. Right now we've got just a quick practice session going underway as our race was scheduled at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It is not quite that time yet. Keeping an eye on Knifely. This is his final race, although he did not make the championship 4. This is Knifely's final race in the Titanic Cup Series after 12 seasons. He was one of the most well-known drivers in the series, and he will be missed at the end of this race. Taking a look at who is in the championship 4, there is Lacko in the 20. He has won 4 or 5 times this season. I believe it was 4 times. Okay, I correct myself. He has won 5 times this season. Lacko in the 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, in which the team will be renamed to M&M's Racing in Season 13. He is the only car in his team. In fact, all 4 drivers in the championship 4, none of them are teammates, which that's actually been the first time in a while. Usually Joe Gibbs Racing dominates when it comes to making Homestead, but this time only one JGR driver. We've got Franklin in the 88, 7 wins this season. He's been probably the hottest driver all season, as we see him on pit road practicing a pit stop right now. He's looking for his first championship, so is Lacko. And there is Coatney in the 39 and McGuckin in the 23, our other 2 championship contenders. McGuckin looking for his 6th championship, and it would be his 3rd in a row if he can make it happen, as he won season 10 and 11. We'll see if that 23 car can make it happen yet again here at Homestead. We've got Coatney also for Team Penske, that team to be renamed as well in Season 13. And one thing to note is that Ford has never won a championship in the 11 seasons that we have completed. Coatney in the Ford, looking to be the first driver to win a championship in a Ford. Otto Manelli in the 14 is driving a Ford. He did win the championship in season 11, but that was back when his team was Chevrolet. Otto Manelli was eliminated in the round of 12. A bit of contact there between Santanastazzo and Adams. Adams did get his first career win at Texas just a couple days ago. Kagzinski in the 4 did not make championship 4. He was eliminated in the most recent round. Set gas as well. Unfortunate day at Phoenix. Engine blew. And that rookie made it much further than we had expected to, but just fell short of making Homestead in his first season. And of course, Knifely in the 48. Wherever he is right now. May not be on the track. There he is. Missed Homestead in his final season, so he will not win a championship. But he's still going to be a big name in the history books for the Titanic racing. So we've got just under 17 minutes to go until we begin qualifying. We'll keep practice right here for you at Homestead, and the race is set to begin in approximately 20 minutes to decide our Season 12 champion. We are going to be testing some graphics. What you see is not what you get, so do not mind what you're about to see on the screen. just practicing using it and making sure it's working properly. we are down to the final minute in this practice session. It was Yates and Setgas the top two, but Lacko is the fastest of all the championship 4 drivers. Coatney is was right behind him. Franklin was the 3rd fastest, and McGuckin was the slowest of the 4 drivers in this practice. But of course, doesn't mean anything. We've got qualifying coming up, which is going to be very critical. We're not going to be able to see that, but we'll see the results as they happen. That will be definitely extremely critical. We've seen drivers start in the back in this race, and they've never been able to get back to the front. There's Coatney in the 39. Zero wins this season, surprisingly. That 39 team has been very strong, however has not been in victory lane at all in season 12. And what a story it would be if this race would be his one and only win of season 12, and of course it would be the most important win of all. So is practice coming to a close right here in 1 second? We will see the qualifying results on the screen in about a minute and a half or so.
Drivers, to your car.
Remember that each car will have 2 laps. So what you see will at first will just be the first lap, and then just give it about half a minute, and the second lap results will be shown. And we'll see which of the championship drivers will start towards the front. Will any of them start on pole? And will any of them be struggling far back? You see the first lap, it is currently Franklin on top, and McGuckin is 3rd. We see Coatney in 9th and Lacko back in 19th, but we still have another lap to go. We'll see if Franklin can hang on to the pole and if Lacko can move up from 19th. Rookie Setgas currently sitting there in 2nd. Second lap should be showing within the next 10 seconds. And there it is, McGuckin to the top, Yates to the top. And it's going to be Yates starting on the pole, but McGuckin starts 2nd. Otto Manelli 3rd, and championship board driver of Franklin will start in the 4th spot. Then we've got Kaczynski, Schenk, Cox, and then Coatney starts 8th. Hammock and Matthew run out the top 10, and Lacko has moved up, he starts 12th. So all of our championship board drivers starting in the outside lane. That should make this a little interesting, as the outside lane usually not very preferred at the start of the race. But McGuckin starts on the front row. It is Yates, a non-championship contender. He won the season 9 championship here at Homestead. And he will start on the pole tonight.
Drivers, to your cars.
Drivers, start your engines.
We will have stages. This race is 81 laps. Stages will be on laps 25 and 50. That means that the yellow flag will come out, and those cautions definitely can be a big changer in this championship. And this is the first season. This is the second season to have stages, but the first season to throw the caution out for stages. And definitely should be very fun, as we hardly see cautions normally here at Homestead. So not really sure what to expect. We've seen in season 9 the yellow flag. Franklin was leading, he was in the championship 4, and the caution came out at the worst time when he was on pit road, and it made him end up going a lap down and finishing 4th overall in the season. But here we go, 81 laps, 35 races have decided the championship 4, and it all comes down to this one last race. This has been a fantastic season, number 12, and we are ready to crown a champion after 81 laps here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Yates on the pole with a championship 4 contender, McGuckian, trying to make it 3 in a row on the outside. Green flag, the championship race is underway. Yates going to lead the first lap, Franklin up to 3rd, McGuckian remains in the 4th spot, or in the 2nd spot rather. There's Coatney on the outside of Setgast, and Lacko on the outside of Adams. Neither of them still get to find room on the bottom. Now Coatney clear. Lacko still stuck in a pack of cars. And this is definitely going to create a slow start for that 40 or for that 20 car. Yates leads the race, McGuckian leads the championship here after 2 laps. Remember that the caution will come out after lap 25. Looks like Lacko will find room on the bottom here, as he has fallen now to 15th. Bit of 3 wide racing as the 23 and the 88 continue to run right within each other, 2nd and 3rd in the race. Coatney gets around Kagzinski, but here comes Adams now on the bottom of 39. Coatney will stay clear of him. Meanwhile, Lacko back here still in 15th, looking inside of Matthew for the 14th spot. We will see a caution, we will see pit stops, and that can definitely change the field up, as Adams does get the nose under Coatney there. Franklin right on the back bumper of McGuckian. We see Shank in the 4th spot. That is Franklin's teammate. And he is running right behind the 88. These non-playoff cars, and there is a lot of them, 36 of them, in this race, not fighting for a championship today. But they definitely can play a huge part in who wins and who doesn't win the title. McGuckian up to 13th. Coatney has fallen down to 9th after starting 8th. McGuckian continues to run 2nd, and Franklin right behind him in 3rd. And here he comes to the inside, looking to take the 2nd spot from McGuckian and also the championship lead. And you see Shank in the 24 going to follow the 88. As you see, Franklin gets in front of McGuckian. And he is now the championship leader. Shank gets by as well, still inside of the 23 car. There's Setgas in the 78, right behind them as well, as they're side by side for 3rd. And Shank will clear the 23 for 3rd. And Setgas inside looking for 4th. And the 78 will take 4th. Remember that playoff points do not come into play in this race. They are no longer relevant. It is the highest finishing driver of the 4 at the end of this race to win the championship. And right now that is Franklin, who is running 2nd. McGuckian now runs 5th. Coatney back up to the 8th spot, and Lacko has fallen back to 15th once again. 20 car struggling in the opening stage of this race, but we've still got 72 laps to go. Yates continues to lead. Yates has not yet won a race this season, looking to change that here on this final race. Meanwhile, Franklin runs 2nd in the race and leading the championship as we are 10 laps into stage 1 here at Homestead. 11 to go in stage 1. Both Franklin and McGuckian have lost 2 spots since last time we checked in. Franklin now runs 4th and McGuckian 7th. But Lacko moved up 2 spots as he now runs in the 13th position, still last of the 4. But of course, still got a long way to go. 10 to go in stage 1. Stages don't mean anything anymore, as non-playoff drivers will still earn points based on where they finish in the stage. However, points do not... There are no stage points awarded for our Championship 4. Remember, it all just comes down to the finish of the race. Got a battle for second here as Setgast is going to take it from Schenk. Yates continues to lead, but his gap is closing. Looks like we have a couple of tire marks in turn 3. I believe that happened in practice at some point. And we see Coatney losing spots to both of his teammates. That's Simeon and Hammock, both for Team Penske, both of Coatney's teammates, and causing him to lose a couple of spots. So teammates not really being very helpful for Coatney in this championship race. As we see, Adams has gotten by Franklin. Both of our top 2 have been losing positions since the start of the race, but it is Franklin running 5th and 1st in the championship so far. I do not fully remember, but I don't believe that the championship winner in any season has ever finished worse than 2nd in the race. I do not entirely remember, at least that's from what I know. There could have been a really early season where the championship winner came 3rd or 4th or something. But as of right now, the championship leader is in 5th place, and we have 6 laps to go in stage 1. And there's Coatney running 10th now, Lacko in 13th. And McGuckian in 7th, Franklin in 5th. Out front, it is now Setgast leading. The Rookie of the Year winner of Season 12. He was the only rookie to make the playoffs. And we see a battle for second here between teammates. Yates will stay clear of Schenk. And now 5 to go in stage number 1. Coming to the final lap in stage number 1. Coatney down to 11th, Lacko down to 12th. As we see a battle for the 6th spot here between Cox and Franklin. A correction, that's for the 5th spot, and Cox is going to get by. And that puts McGuckin now right behind the 88. As we're coming to complete stage 1, we'll wait until this 95 car crosses the line to bring the caution out. And it's going to be Set Gas winning stage 1. Yates 2nd, Schenk 3rd. Adams 4th, Cox 5th, Franklin 6th, McGuckin 7th, Simeon 8th, Flincham 9th, and Hammock 10th. Coatney comes 11th and Lacko 12th. And now for the interesting part. Will we see pit stops? And looks like everybody coming onto pit road here. And definitely cannot afford to have a slow pit stop here. This is the worst time for that to happen. We've seen that happen to playoff drivers in the past several races. Set Gas will lead them onto pit road. Franklin, McGuckin, Coatney, and Lacko on pit road as well. Just saw that there, a bit of contact between the 88 and the 98 while Cox was coming to his pit stall. We'll see if that's significant for the 88 car. It might cause him to have a slower stop. Looks like some cars may be only changing 2 tires, and you see the 88 sitting on pit road. Not terribly slow, but did lose a couple spots, and it's McGuckin now, the championship leader. Coatney also a slow pit stop. He's going to lose a good number of spots as well. And it is Yates, the first one off pit road. And there's McGuckin back in the championship lead. Under caution after stage 1 here at Homestead. One lap until green. Coatney all the way back in 19th, as you see. And he definitely has a lot of work to do, but we still have 2 stages left. We'll see another caution flag, possibly another pit stop. One lap to go until green. It will be lap 30 when we come across the line, and 21 laps to go in stage 2. Yates leads, Set Gas second, Shank third, Adams fourth, Cox fifth, and Simeon sixth. None of them contending for a championship. It is McGuckin in 7th and currently 1st in the championship. There's Franklin in 10th, Lacko in 13th, and as we mentioned, Coatney back in 19th. Back green at Homestead. See the 88 of Franklin going inside of Flinsum in the 29. And now inside of Hammock, trying to catch up to that 23 car. Doesn't care about any of these other drivers. McGuckin is his biggest target right now. And he's going to get by Hammock as McGuckin is inside of Simeon. And Franklin right behind the 23 now. Going to go inside. Side by side for the championship lead. And Hammock right behind the 88. McGuckin goes way up the racetrack. And it's going to be Flinsum, or Franklin rather, right once again, taking the championship lead. McGuckin goes right down behind Simeon in 8th place as Franklin runs 6th. We see Lacko coming up, looking for 10th from Benjamin. He's going to get it. There's Coatney back there up to 15th on the outside of Hammock and Smith. Or Hoffman, rather. See, I'm getting all my names mixed up today. Franklin has gotten by Shank in the 24. There's Knifley. We started pretty far back in 28th, I believe, but he's up to 11th now in his final race. And there's Hammock getting by McGuckin now. And that's going to put Lacko right behind the 23. But now here comes Knifley inside of Lacko. He doesn't care about this championship battle. This is his last race. He's going to make the most of it. Lacko stays clear from the 20 car. McGuckin gets by Shank. As you see Franklin now running 5th. Lacko inside of the 20 car the 24 car. Meanwhile, Coatney falling back once again. He's back in 19th, still stuck on the outside. And we have a new driver running 2nd. That's Adams. And how about Franklin now looking for 3rd? That 88 car on a roll now. He just took 3rd from Setgast. Trying to get as many cars in between him and the 23 as possible. 12 laps to go in stage 2. We see a lot going on around this area. Knifely has gotten by McGuckin and now inside of Simeon. Meanwhile, we see Franklin. He's now up to second. After restarting, I forget where he restarted. It was like 9th or so. He's done a great job getting himself in the second spot. Yates continues to lead this race. He started on pole and has been pretty dominant all day, although it was set gas 2 on stage 1. He's fallen back to about 8th now. And we see Lacko on the outside of his teammate Helmenthaler. He's back to 12th now. And there's Coatney in 17th. So a bit of a struggling start for a couple of our playoff drivers, but we are just now at halfway done with this race. McGuckin inside of Simeon for 6th. He continues to run second in the championship, but the championship leader is Franklin. He's all the way up to second. We will see the caution fly 9 laps from now. Eight to go in stage 2. McGuckin inside of Simeon for 6th. Yates continues to lead. Franklin has been closing the gap, however. Could Franklin find a way to win stage number 2? How about Coatney up to 11th now? He's had a great recovery. He's now in front of Lacko and now runs 3rd in the championship. McGuckin runs 6th. Meanwhile, Franklin continues to run 2nd, but it is Yates leading. 4 laps to go in stage 2. Issue for the 29. Wonder if he had to come down pit road. He's now in 39th place. and the last of the cars still in this race. We saw him running pretty solidly inside the top 10 earlier. And we see Knifely in his final race inside of Hammock for 4th. Hammock in the 12 has been having a good race today, as he will stay clear from Knifely. There's Otto Manelli, who won the championship here in Season 7, back in Season 7 at this track. Courtney going to get by his teammate Simeon, put himself in the top 10. Doesn't look like Franklin's going to be able to catch up to Yates before the end of the stage. But it is Yates leading 2 laps to go in stage 2. Otto Manelli going to take a spot away from McGuckin as now he falls to 7th. Final lap of stage 2. Courtney looking for 8th now from Benjamin. We'll wait for the 29s to cross the line before throwing the caution out. Looks like we've got the 53 car off the pace. And our caution will fly as Yates comes off turn 4. He's going to win stage 2 here at Homestead. Franklin 2nd, Hammock 3rd, Adams 4th, Knifely 5th, Otto Manelli 6th, McGuckian 7th, Courtney 8th, Smith 9th, and Benjamin 10th. And we see Lacko back there in 12th. And we are under caution for the 2nd time today after stage 2. And we'll see if anyone decides to come down pit road. Looks like everyone on pit road once again, led by Yates. We'll see if any mistakes happen here, any slow stops. And if last time was the worst time, wasn't the worst time to have a bad stop, this time definitely is. As this could be the final pit stop of the season. Will our championship 4 drivers get through cleanly? Looks like it's going to be 4 tires for everyone again. Franklin quickly off pit road. He's going to come out 2nd. And look who's slowing down, losing a couple spots to McGuckian. Gonna lose, might have even lost a spot to Lacko there. And it is the 23, the championship 4 contender, with the slow pit stop that time. Not terribly slow, but it could have definitely killed his hopes at winning the championship. As now he's got a lot of work to make up to try and catch up to that 88 car. And it is Courtney now 2nd. And it does look like Lacko came out in front of the 23. So we'll see what place everyone runs under caution here after stage 2. Coming to the restart, it is Yates leading, Franklin is second, Coatney in 6th, Lacko in 10th, and McGucky in 11th. Could this be the final restart of the season? Green flag, Franklin immediately inside of Yates for the lead. And he's going to take it. Trying to win the Season 12 championship, Franklin now leads at Homestead. Franklin has just had such a great season, it seems. 7 wins, and he's just seemed to be in front in just about every race almost. As we see Coatney inside of Adams for 5th. That 39 car now is a contender, as he's now currently 2nd in points. And there's Knifley in the 48, looking for 3rd from Hammock in his final race. And Coatney following right behind. Those two are former teammates, Knifley and Coatney. And Coatney trying to stay behind the 48 so that he can get by the 12 as well. Knifley clears Hammock and Coatney inside as well. He's going to take 4th, and now inside of Knifley. Knifley stays clear. Meanwhile, Franklin continues to lead, trying to finish it off. Lacko up to 9th now. McGuckin still running 11th. Side by side with Smith on the outside of him. Here comes Coatney now inside of Knifley for 3rd. Knifley stays clear on the outside. That's not good news for Coatney, as he's going to lose a lot of time to the leader here. McGuckin has fallen to 12th, and now Schenk inside of him. 23 car bound to lose even more spots here. And Coatney now being challenged by Adams behind him. That 79 car has been fast all day. Coatney definitely does not want to give up any more spots. He's going to try to get 3rd again from the 48. See if he can make it stick. It was a little bit too deep into turn 4 there. Still door to door with the 48 down the front straightaway. And Coatney does clear for 3rd. Now we'll see if he can catch up to Yates in the 5 car. Knifley staying right behind the 39. Definitely putting pressure on him. This time by Franklin continues to lead. 20 laps to go at Homestead. Can Franklin stay in front for 20 more laps to get his first championship tonight? Lacko up to 8th. He's probably going to need a caution, as McGuckin now running 15th. His hopes at going for 3 in a row tonight are fading quickly as the laps wind down. And now losing yet another spot. Just that 23 car no longer with the speed. Gonna fall outside of the top 15 here. We see the gap for second closing between Coatney and Yates. Remember that Ford has never won a championship. Coatney looking to be the first Ford driver to do this. But he's going to have to get by a fast number 5 of Yates and definitely a fast number 88 of Franklin. Now with just 18 laps to go. Franklin trying to pull away from Yates, making his lead larger. Meanwhile, we see McGuckin continuing to drop back. It was a pretty good start for him. He was leading the championship for a little while. But now it's all falling apart for Mr. 5-time champion, who is trying to make it 6 today. And there's Lacko running 8th, who finished runner-up last season. Wanted to move one spot higher this season, but right now he's one spot lower. You see the lap times distance between the 88 and the 39. It's been going up and down. But the laps are winding down. You see Knifley still right behind the 39. The last thing Coatney wants is for the 48 to get a nose under the 39, as it will definitely kill his lap time. Trying to close in on that 5 car so that he can hunt down the 88. With Knifley right on his bumper, trying to keep him from going inside. We've been seeing quite a lot of late cautions recently in the past couple of races. We'll see if that happens again, and what Coatney did not want is happening right now. Knifley inside of him. And now Coatney stuck on the outside lane and potentially going to lose a spot here. And this is definitely going to kill this lap time, as you see 1.37 behind the leader now. And it falls all the way down to 1.73 as he does clear the 48. But it definitely killed his distance between him and Franklin. You see McGuckin just falling, now in 19th. Looking for a caution, but even then, probably not gonna help him very much. It's Coatney the one looking for a caution, trying to get the field back together. But as we mentioned at the start of this race, we hardly see cautions here. I can only remember like maybe 1 or 2 times where we've seen an accident happen here at Homestead. One happened last season with Championship 4 contender Smith. He was involved in a crash and it took him out of contention to win the championship. And meanwhile now, just 12 laps to go. Franklin in the 88. Looking to make this an easy last 12 laps. No drama. No crazy nonsense happening. He just wants this to be a nice, smooth final couple laps for Franklin to grab his first championship here tonight. Crosses the line now, 11 to go. Coatney continues to run third right behind Yates, and with Knifley behind him. There's Lacko still third in the championship, and McGuckian back in 20th now. And this time by, Franklin will see 10 laps to go. 10 to go in the season. Time is running out for Coatney. He's right behind Yates. First he's got to get past that 5 car. Then he's got to catch up to the 88. Then he's got to pass the 88. And that's just a lot that he's got to do in just 10 laps. Remember that Yates is Franklin's teammate, so the 5's going to do the best he can to keep the 39 behind him and help his teammate win this championship. Remember, Yates won the championship back in season 9 and looking to help a teammate to do it here 3 seasons later. Meanwhile, Lacko continues to run in the 8th spot. Franklin out all by himself. 1.5 seconds is his gap from him and Yates. And now 8 laps to go. Battle for second. Coatney looking to get by the 5 car. Coatney going to take second, but there are now only 6 laps to go, and 2 seconds is the gap between the 39 and the 88. That's definitely a lot of time for Coatney to have to make up in such a short amount of time. This time by, Franklin will see 5 laps until his first championship. He knows the 39 has gotten up to second. He's got to push hard now. If he wasn't pushing hard already, which I definitely believe he was. Lacko back there in 9th. And McGuckian back there in 20th. We can pretty much say that for those two, it's pretty much over for them. And if a caution comes out now, it will end the race under yellow, so Coatney no longer looking for that caution flag. Four laps to go. The gap not closing between the 88 and the 39. In fact, we have a battle for second now. Knifley inside. And it's going to get past Coatney. This is definitely a very frustrating final laps for that 39 car, as he just cannot close on Franklin, who is way out there, coming to 3 laps to go. He's just going to need to hope that the 88 blows the engine or something. That's pretty much his only hope for Coatney. Two laps to go at the line. And as we said, Franklin's just looking for no drama and no nonsense, and it is working out just as he had hoped. Running there out there all by himself, looking to win this race, looking for that first championship. Knightley in his final race is running second, and this will be Knightley's very last lap. But for Franklin, he's going to take the white flag at Homestead. Car number 88 won the championship back in season 6 when it was driven by Miller. 6 seasons later, Franklin drives the 88, and he's looking to seal the deal. He's won 7 races already this season, looking to make it 8 here. What a great season 12 it has been. A very competitive playoffs fight to get to the championship 4. But for Franklin, it has been the greatest season he could ask for. He crosses the line, and Franklin in the 88 is your season 12 Titanic Cup Series champion. For Hendrick Motorsports, sponsored by McDonald's, Franklin drives that number 88 car. He has been pretty much dominant all season. 7 wins, now 8, as he has won here at Homestead. And you see it right there. 36 races to decide a champion, and you see him right there on your screen, the Titanic Cup Series champion. Franklin now holds that title. He has 2 All-Star Race wins, and now known as a season champion of season number 12. And you just saw Knightley pull it down pit road. He has finished his season. He has finished his career. And what a great career it has been for that 48 car. Couldn't find the championship, but nonetheless, he has definitely made a big impression in the series. We'll show him cross the line once more. Off of turn number 4, season 12 champion goes to Franklin. And with just how strong he's been all season, he's pretty much just been expected to win this championship, and he did a great job at delivering that. And there's Knightley in the 48, cruising around Homestead for the final time of his career. We salute that 48 car, and we congratulate the 88. They are teammates, and one of them is now Titanic Cup Series champion. And we'll see the full results of today's race. Let me put all these things away. Franklin comes out as number 1, not only in the race but in the championship. Knightley finishes 2nd in his final race. Coatney 3rd in the race and ends up the series runner-up. And Lacko finishes 10th to finish 3rd in the season, and McGuckian back in 20th. he ends up 4th overall in season 12. But what a great season it has been, as season number 12 is official. We'll see you in a couple weeks for number 13. And again, congratulations to Franklin, Titanic Cup Series Season 12 champion.